Hello and welcome to my channel Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I am the Ginger Ninja and these are my movie reviews. If you're new to my channel, thank you very much for tuning in, stopping by and checking it out. It truly is appreciated. And if you're wondering what we're doing here today, well, it's a Tuesday. And on Tuesdays, we look at Tubi Tuesdays. But this month I'm actually doing a little bit of a theme. What I'm doing is Animalistic August Tubi Tuesdays. So each Tuesday I'm looking at a film I found on Tubi that features an animal of some variety, a ant, or in this case, a shark. And sharks have been a big feature on my channel for some time. Back when I was doing my Savage reviews, they were abundant. But let's get into this one. We're looking at the film Bait from 2012. This was directed by Kimball Rendell. It stars Xavier Samuel, Shani Vinson, Alex Russell, Phoebe Tonkin, Lincoln Lewis, Julian McMahon, and many, many more. Now this is an Aussie film, so, you know, means something to me. But before I do get into the nitty gritty of it, I do want to say a big thank you to all my new and existing subscribers. Obviously, your continued support does mean the world to me, so thank you very much. It is truly appreciated. But let's get into this movie, right? So, I will be discussing plot specifics and spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, it is available on Tubi. You can watch it there with a VPN. You can watch it anywhere in the world. Just saying. So, a freak tsunami traps shoppers at a coastal Australian supermarket inside the building. For some reason, the supermarket is underground. So, but they're not just trapped in there by themselves. They are trapped in there with some great white sharks, which they measure to be 12 foot. Apparently from the tip of the fin to the dorsal is about 6 feet, so you double that. Little hint, little tip that I found watching this movie. Now, I know what you're thinking, sharks in a supermarket. Really? Well, let's face it, they had snakes on a train, snakes on a plane, zombies on a plane. Why not sharks in a supermarket, right? Honestly, I did think the same thing, you know, it's a bit out there, but somehow they actually kind of managed to make this work. The film is a mix of disaster movie and creature feature in a way that does get you intrigued and see how it all works out. You know, see if they will escape, or even if they do escape, because you're thinking sharks, you know, what are they, apex predators? So, you know, what happens when they get in a supermarket half filled with water? Well, watch this, you'll find out. Anyway, let's talk about the cast and the characters. Now, what sets Bait apart from your run-of-the-mill creature flick is its focus on character development. It does take time to develop the main protagonists and also some of the secondary protagonists. You get a bit of their story, their history, their, you know, where they've been, which does work out really well because you do somewhat form a bit of a bond with them. You want to make sure they survive for the most part. Now, the heroes and heroines, they have their own baggage and the situation does become increasingly dire. Their tensions come bubbling to the surface. They start combating with each other in a little way, a little here and there, but that also changes. They some of them actually step up and become more heroic, whereas previously they had been quite scared. So, yeah, it's always a good thing to see. You will find yourself rooting for some of these characters while secretly hoping the sharks get their comeuppance on others, which is really good to see, I will say. Some of the acting, however, is pretty average, but overall the cast do a really good job. You know, there's some overacting, but overall it's a pretty good job. Now, directing and writing, the directing was good. I really did enjoy that. The opening scene is bright and sunny and it really showcases the beauty and also the terror of Australia. You know, anyone who's from outside of Australia would have heard, oh, you know, animals everywhere wanting to kill you. Well, yeah. So it really does showcase that in the opening scene, that this can be quite, you know, a deadly thing. It doesn't let you go from there. It sets it up and it's still bright and sunny as it goes into the film, as it moves on. But then when the the tsunami hits and it goes underground, it creates a good juxtaposition between the dinginess of the underground store where they're trapped in to what was previously quite bright and sunny and blue skies, nice beaches, everything looked nice compared to this gritty, yucky disaster piece. Anyway, now for the script. Look, don't expect an Oscar-worthy script here. There's a fair share of cheesy one-liners and questionable decisions made by the characters. And these are the kind of ones where you want to shout at the screen, like, what are you doing? Don't go in there. Those kind of decisions that they make. And the pacing is a little up and down. There is a good balance of suspenseful underwater shots and the shark attacks and the character drama, but overall it does seem to drag a little bit, which is unfortunate. That ending, look, I did say spoiled before, but like, what the fuck was up with that ending? Like, seriously, the line, what are we going to do now? We're going to rebuild. Look, seriously, I was expecting Bill Pullman from Independence Day to come up and start shouting about Independence Day, or Elijah Wood talking at the end of Deep Impact about rebuilding, standing in front of Parliament House or some shit. It was, look, that ending really sucked. But guess it was an ending. Anyway, the effects. The effects are a mixed bag, and while I know the director did originally want 100% practical effects, the budget prevented that, and we're left with some really good effects and some average CGI. Now, the CGI is not terrible, but the practical effects up against that really make it stand out. If it was purely CGI, it'd be terrible. But the fact that they've incorporated some practical effects into that, like the bodies that are floating around, you've got some good parts where there's a bit of a hand getting chopped off and things like that. They look really good, and it really makes it stand out. And given the budget, they've done a remarkable job with those effects. So definitely worth checking out just for that. Like I said, CGI, man, practical, good. Rewatchability, now that is a tough one, as it is an enjoyable film. But aside from the smattering of gore, some solid acting from the majority of the cast, it doesn't really do too much to pull you in, and that can really hamper a rewatch. You are intrigued by the actual plot of it. How do the sharks get in there? What are they going to do to get out? But after that, once you know that, there's really no big draw card to get you back in. That being said, if you add it into a creature-featured night, get a few beers, a few mates, it could be a very fun addition. So overall with this film, if there is a downside to it, it's probably the occasional predictability. We've all seen our fair share of horror survival movies, so there are moments where you can see certain plot twists coming a mile away. It does combine disaster elements with creature feature thrills really well, and it is a flick that you need to suspend disbelief for this one 100%. If you do, you'll have a blast, at least on one watch. And maybe you'll think twice before you complain about going to the grocery store next time. Overall, I would give Bait a 6 out of 10. It's not great, it's not terrible, it's a very average film, but I did enjoy it, and it is definitely worth checking out at least once. Like I said, you've got that beautiful Australian scenery at the start. It looks great. You've got some good acting in there. I mean, the cast do a good job. It's just not going to make you want to rewatch it over and over again. It's not Jaws, to put it bluntly. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Now, I do have some news. I have some changes to my channel that are coming up. This will be the final month, for now, for Tubi Tuesday. Coming up, I do have quite a fair bit of, basically, September and October are going to be flat out. So, I'm going to have to put Tubi Tuesdays on the back burner. I think that's telling me something. Going to have to go on the back burner. But so they will be going on the back burner for a little bit. Just because I do have a lot coming up in September and October, which hopefully you guys will enjoy. So keep an eye out for that. More news to come as it gets closer. I don't want to spoil anything. Plus, I do have something new coming out for hopefully December, possibly January. I know that's a fair way away, but it's something I'm working on. It's going to be a lot of fun, so hopefully you guys will get a kick out of it too. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for future content. Hit that notification bell so that way you're notified every time I do release a new video. And like I said, I've got some good things coming up which you'll want to know about. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.